Starting.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm very happy to be here. Angy, we did a trade for me to be here.
Okay.
And for me, forced one, because in my first lecture in English, I used to do it in Portuguese, not in English. So bear with me. And I hope this can help us all, because this lectures, it's more for us that do the lecture than for everyone. So I learned a lot for the second time I'm doing this one. But I hope you all can have some guidance, you all can have some thoughts on what we're going to see today on our evolution, moral, and spiritual path. So basically, we are going through 10 items about our evolution. So the first one, it's our origin. Like we all here, all, no exceptions, we have the same origin. Like not as a human being. We are all the same, as according to the Spiritist book, not said once, twice, but 5 times, saying that we are all created simple and unaware. We have the conception that our orange is simple and aware as human being, but this is not what Kardec want to say. We are simple and unaware since the atom, since there the beginning. And then we go to all the kingdoms. We learn, we experience, we learn until we be here. If you think about the plants, they are smart, right? If you think about the animals, they have instinct, yes, they do, but also the animals, they have some kind of intelligence or smart thing behind them. For example, we went to some vacation a couple of weeks ago, and here in Florida, basically, we saw a lot of crows everywhere, the bird there. I swear, the bird, it was a backpack like this. He opened the backpack and he was trying to find food. Of course, he's hungry, he's an animal, he wants to eat. But if you go from the previous kingdom, we don't have that kind of intelligence, you know? So we have to be very attend to this message from Kardec that we have all these questions saying the same thing. So God created us, all spirits, simple and unaware, mean lack of knowledge. And it's not the knowledge, the IQ knowledge that we think, it's this learning that we are having every day. So God has given us each particular mission to enlighten and help us gradually reach perfection through the knowledge of the truth and rise closer to Him. So this condition that we are here today as human beings is the most closest incarnated condition that we have to be close to Him. Of course, we are going to evolve as a spirit, might not be in this body that we have here today, might be in a different one, but we are going to experience until we get as a pure spirits. So spirits acquired knowledge by experience, trials inflicted by God. While some accept these trials with resignation and arrive to our destiny more quickly, other maybe not support that and remain far away from the perfection and happiness. So we say it's a kind of, all of here take a bus for an excursion, like for a trip. We might, some are going there closer and faster than others. And we have to accept that. We are not going 100% together. We have different trials, we have different things to experience, and our path is to learn. So no matter who we are, no matter where we are from, no matter if we live 100 years, if we live 1,000 years, whatever we have to live, we have different paths. Even if we take twins, purples, they are going to be physically similar sometimes, but each one, we have our own path. Okay. So the other questions I just want to mention is, how is that some spiritists have traveled the road of the righteous and others to the road of evil? So the divine justice doesn't fail for anyone. We might be sad by the condition that we are now, but again, it's because of our awareness, our learning path that we are at the moment that we are not yet. So the question was responded with a question saying, don't we have free will? So we can give the same thing to different people. And people might do things that are different for each one, according to the experience, according to the culture, according to the way that they are raised or born. It would take in a different way. Okay, so those who become bad, it's part of their choice. Other question that is related to this: is incarnation necessary for spirits who have followed the right path from outside? The response is, all spirits are created, so again, simple and unaware, and learn through the trials and tribulations of corporeal life. Talking about the justice here again, God is just. Our create could not create. Some spirits are happy and others not. So we have, it's a kind of accept that, but it's part of what we are learning here in this planet and in this corporeal life. So these two questions, can they interact? Yeah. Okay. So there's two questions. Like, I would like to hear your opinion. Why does evil exist in nature of things? Am I speaking about moral evil? Okay. Couldn't God have created the human race under more favorable conditions? This is one question. And the second one, can the duration of the spirit's suffering be eternal? What do you guys think?
You have to answer. Let's go one at a time.
Not all together, please. No, please go. Any? Yep. So any idea here on the first one? Remember, this is the fourth and the fifth questions that the spirits are answering about where we came from, you know? So they might be a little bit mad.
It all depends. For me, evil is the absence of love.
Okay.
Right. So as you presented in the previous slide, the reason we are here is to experience things.
Yep.
So one of the things that we need to experience is the absence of love, the absence of good, in order to recognize and be love and be good. So it's part of the learning process.
Yep. So let's see the answer. So they say, we already told you. We are created here, simple and ignorant, the translation that I got, but it's meaning of unaware. So God leaves all human beings free to choose their own path. Okay? So too bad for them if they choose the wrong one, their journey will be longer. So they will have to learn again and again and again. It's their choice, right? And that one, it says, of course, if we're eternally wicked, meaning if they were never repent or atone, it would suffer forever. But this is not the purpose that God wants us. So again, it says we are created simple and unaware, ignorant, and all of them must progress, is due course according to our will. So next one, first one, our orange. Second one is the method, right? What is the condition from us living from the simplicity, from the not awareness, and move it forward? So question 120 says, do all spirits travel to the road of evil to arrive to the good? So we have to be one or other. So the spirits respond, the road travel is of the unawareness rather than, so according what you said, like the lack of one can cause the other makes sense, but to get there you have to learn, right? You have to experience. So I don't know if you guys been to the spirits conference this year, but the youth, they did a great presentation, at least for me. The theme was the Heaven and Hell book. And this girl, Julia Magri, if you want to YouTube, you can see her presentation. And Gabrielle is the other youth. I think she's 16 and he might be between 16, 17. And a lot of religions, they, and not talking about anything bad about religions here. So their explanation, it's you are in the middle. Or you were good or you were bad. Or you're going to hell or you're going to heaven. You know, some religions, they have this concept. Then they come that the spiritists teach us that we come from ignorance, like knowing nothing, and then progressing to being good. So we might be towards here in our life, more or less, and we want to be there. We are going to be there. According to God, we are all going to be there. No matter if it's a bad son, a suicidal, whatever, everybody's going to learn and be to the goodness side. So according to the spiritism, we have to learn, right? And we have to open our eyes on this learning, because we evolve as we learn, but I cannot close my eyes as I learn. I cannot just put in my mind in something and not open my eyes. Oh, why she thinks different? Why this is different? Sometimes it's not according to what I've been educated. Sometimes I do not agree. Sometimes there are differences, and it's okay. We have to respect the difference that the other is thinking, but we have to open our minds and see, if she thinks like that, let me see why, or I respect. If you're not ready to understand why the others are on that stage or learning on that way or thinking on that way, we have to open our minds and try to learn. So we already have orange method. And the next one is our destination. And this one is pretty easy. Our destination is happiness. God wants all of us. Our destination, it is to be happy. And the happiness here, it's not about oh, the day that I buy that house or that car, it's not material. It's an internal happiness. It's something that you cannot, when you see someone or you are happy because of someone did something, you have a different feeling, right? You know that it is different. But we are still here in this planet, in this life, attached to material life. We're still saying, if I have that car, if I have that jewelry, if I have this or that, I'm going to be happy. And we have to think about the real soul happiness. Okay? So the joy of the spirit is eternal, and we are always going to be there. We're still suffering, we're still not understanding, say, is God like the justice is still, we sometimes we question things and say it cannot be, but it has to happen. I'll give you an example. We're telling John, like, we went to New York this weekend, and like one of the dreams of my daughter was to go to New York. Like, her rate for New York was 11. When she went there, she was like Broadway, Times Square, all those things was 10, 10, 10, 10. When once she saw like a lot of homeless, drug addicts in the street, and I was not like I was like, I don't want to go. And he was like, I don't want to go, but let's go because of her. Because we are from big cities, and we were like, you know, and she was asking us, saying, Mom, why they are here? She never had this kind of situation, like seeing like so clear, you know, with her own eyes. And she was like, Mom, God is not like, this is not fair. Why they are here? Why they don't have to eat? Like, she saw people getting food from trash, and they said, look, it's hard for us as a parent to explain. And we're saying, like, it's a kind of their choice, but there is a lot of social things involved that it's not in discussion here. But it was hard for her to understand that the justice is still something that we have to believe, that this happiness is going to come for everyone. So we have origin, method, destination. So give me one warranty, just one, that what Katia is saying, that we're going to be happy, the happiness is the end of all this, it's going to happen. Idea? So we have all the God's law written in our consciences. So we have that. We know that we're going to be happy. We know that it's going to work on the best way, but how come it's going to happen? Like, we have to experience, we have to assess this law, to practice, to do it again and again and again. So you have forgotten and misinterpreted it. God wants us to be recalled to our memories. Okay. So if we do have orange method destination warranty, why doesn't God deliver happiness right away for us? What do you think? If it's like that, why not? What is missing? What is the condition that is missing? No? The condition is the love. We have to experience the love. And we are not talking here about family love or material love that we have in this condition that we are here. We are talking about soul love. We are talking about wanting the best to the others, working charities, working in doing things without any kind of asking or anything. We have to experience the love. When you do some kind of charity workers work, or when you do some kind of things that like you feel so good, you feel like this was like amazing. I was not expecting. You have a feeling, and we still not. For example, the homeless that I saw in New York, I swear, I cannot love them as a brother or sisters yet. I wish if I could. I feel bad about them, but I'm at a human condition that I am right now. I'm not there yet. And I believe that people that they go there, they go give food to them. They were feeling better than me that was just looking to them and feeling, like, pity, like sad. But when you experience love, not just for the homeless, for elderly visits, for whatever, this is the only way that we are going to the end of our path and growth spiritually, feeling this love. And that one thing is that the closest love that the Spirit has said that as human we feel is a love from parents or mother to a child or a kid. So from there you see that still a lot for us to grow on that path. So orange method, destination, warranty, condition. So what is the strategy that the Spiritists and God explains to us how we are going to get there, how we are going to do all this? So the strategy that God used to achieve the condition of love, it's if we evolve in our planning. So thinking from, this is the best picture that I got, guys, sorry. From the atom to the pure spirits, all the path that we have to do, from an awareness to acquiring knowledge and practicing love. So if we do not reincarnate, and talking about spiritual reincarnation when we are as human being, not this path here, we cannot get there. So reincarnation is a truth that it's written in the Spiritist book and many books, that it's our way to learn. And recently I watched a video, those small videos that said how reincarnation can help. How come? So the guy was saying that there is the hate and like the big hate. So the hate is something, I step in your foot, or I tell you I don't like you, or things like that. So this hate is easy to forgive, is easy to work on, like maybe a neighborhood or somebody. This will go in this life and we can forgive. But it's someone kill somebody or do something that it hurts the feeling, maybe not does not hurt one, but it hurts other. It depends how we live. It depends how I have on my life, the choice that I made. It might hurt one, but it not hurt others. But I think something really bad. How I can forgive someone that killed my mom in front of me, or did something really bad to someone that I know? That is hard. So the only response for that is reincarnate. These are going to come together, maybe as a parent, maybe as a neighbor, maybe there is no rules that it has to be as a father and mother, it has to be as a married, it has to be as a son. No, we don't know. We don't know how, but it has to reincarnate. And this approximation, I would say, is happening, and it's happening again and again. At some point, they are going to face the love, and then they are going to forgive somehow what happened in 10, 20, 50 lives. We never know. Each one are going to make choices. Each one, it's going to take some decisions, and it might take 1, 2 lives, but it might take 50. It might take forever. Okay. So now we do have orange method, destination, warranty, condition, and strategy. Next one is the time. If I can ask you, what is the time that God gave us to complete all this spiritual path? Does anybody has a guess?
What is the time of what?
That God gave us
The
to
God.
complete, God, yeah, to complete.
It does
The
not
time
have
that
one.
That she's got the right answer. It does not have time. There is no watch or clock or whatever you think for God. Like it can be 1, 10 billion years. We are still going to be here. We might be transferred to a different planet. We never regret, but we go according to our energy. We go according to our connections and symphony. But if we progress, we are progressing according to how we have to progress, how we choose to progress. Okay? So time was the last one. The next one is a guide. This one I hope everyone knows. So how do I get there? Do I need a map? Do I need GPS, a Waze, Google Map, whatever? So how do I get there? Is there someone that passed through here to this planet that we can follow the path? Right? So on question 625, it is there. What is the most perfect time that God has offered to human beings as their guide and model? The answer is look at Jesus. So he gave many, many lessons to us, right? Forgive 70 times 7, a lot of parables and a lot of teachings, like more than 2,000 years ago, and we are still learning. We are still trying to understand what he's saying, put in practice in our lives, and try to progress. But it's still hard. Still hard. So one day I asked him, like, 2,000 year ago, he was already the governor of the planet. He was a pure spirit. Now, 2,000 years after, where he is, like, and we're still here. We're still like slow baby steps, but he's the model that we have to follow. He's the guide that God wants us to follow, and that it's going to help us in our spiritual path. Next one, it's our free will. No matter what we do, no matter what happened, it's our choice. So more I experience, greater is going to be my free will. Like maybe I was, I don't know, a doctor in a past life, and this life I could be, but I don't have moral aspects to be a doctor. Maybe I did something, so my free will is going to be adapted. And it's not because I was a doctor, I'm going to be a doctor. No, we are going always to experience and always going through our path. Oops. So everyone has their own choice. So Our free will is a fundamental aspect of our human existence. We all have freedom. We all can choose whatever we want. We have laws, of course, but we can do different than the law. We can choose something, but any path that we go, it's going to be the good and the bad. Especially if you go to the wrong path, we're going to go in circles until we get to the right path again. So our choice are influenced by factors in our knowledge, in our experience, and really affects our spiritual progress. More enlightened we became, the better equipped we are to make decisions aligned to the divine law and the moral principles. So I said 10, right? Orange, first one, simple and unaware. Method, destination, warranty, condition, strategy, time, the guide that is Jesus, free will. The person can have everything. You can bring to the youth study. You can come to the study at Angy Spiritual Center every week. You can do whatever you want. You say, now she goes, or now he goes. But what is missing? What is missing to get things happen? Any?
Love.
Love, we already talked. Love is the condition.
Yes.
Yeah, kind of. You're close. Very close. No? So you have time, you have love, you have times to reincarnate many, many times. Yeah, you guys like gave the most closest options. It's the will. If you don't have the will, you don't go anywhere. The person, if she doesn't want, she doesn't want. It will not move. You can do whatever you want, but at some point, that spirit has to say, I want to quit smoking, quit my laziness, do this, that. If you can do, you can take to doctor, but if the person doesn't want. And it's going to learn all over again and all over again, and will not move. So willing is very important for us to want to make a change. If you want to make a change, you can think about Jesus and say, no, Jesus forgive, so I'm going to do the same. But if you don't want, you will not do it. And all the spirits is in question 117. All spirits tend towards the perfection, and God provides them with the means to achieve it through the trials of corporeal lives. Okay, so Kardec addressed the issue of will in the Spiritist book in the different contexts, highlighting its importance as a driving force for spiritual and moral progress. Will is presented as an essential tool to overcome the challenges, resist temptations, and achieve high goals. So now I brought a quick video for you how sometimes we do react.
Impossible.
Have to click there, skip. I'm skipping here.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I'm doing here, but it's not skipping.
Oh, okay. It's not there. Yeah.
There you go.
Sound?
Keep singing. Think I do too much. And that's a problem. That tendency, like there's something important on my mind. So the decision to be made. The influence of thinking too much. I intersect endlessly with paralyzed from an overactive brain. And once I'm in this place, stuck. For example, it's like the only way I can sleep. You know,
I can't reach your sleep.
you've heard what I said. There's no problem. We're going to do is stop myself from thinking so much.
I suspect the solution is as difficult as it seems to think it is.
I wish that were true. But you see, even after I think of all of some of this, after I turn to the other matters, it's like this cruel cycle of emotion.
And if you truly want to make a change, just make the change.
What do you mean?
Have you ever considered that perhaps your thinking is but a means to delay the inevitable?
The same.
Has this time spent thinking makes you any closer to decisive resolution? As long as you stay out here about what if, let's do it against everything. It's hypothetical. However, once you make up your mind, you are bound to your choice, and whatever comes of it.
Choosing to not change?
If your desire is truly to be free, then put your action will not take you in the direction opposite to that which you know,
Why can't I bring myself to do it?
because you're still free.
I'm being woman.
The courage to have.
So what about?
It's your choice. Venture deeper into the rabbit hole of the ranging thinking, continue to compound. Or, as I suggest, you take a step of courage, you can take action and just
Make the change.
The sound is a little bit, I
Yeah,
don't know, but it's like, if doesn't want to change, that's fine. It's just, but as she said, he said action, courage, he wants to, yeah, you have to want to do it. If you don't want to do it, that's okay. Maybe it's not your moment, maybe it's not your time, but at some point, yeah, we're going to be past. The spiritual world is like always trying to make us into the, even if we don't want to, they show us again, they show us again, they show us again. So this is how life works. And
What do you agree?
this is all that I have for you guys. I was a little bit nervous, but I appreciated the time and the experience. If you try to remember during the week, during the weekend, month, whatever about this time passed, always remember that we are simple and unaware since the beginning, and we are here learning, learning, and learning.
So now that she finished, is there any questions or comments that anyone online would like to ask, or anyone here would like to ask the expert?
No.
Katia, anything you guys would like to comment?
Yeah.
First of all, Katia, thank you. You said that was the first time you did this presentation in English and you didn't the first time. One thing that I'm curious about, well, let me start with the second comment. the last video, I think that's probably rich enough to be a separate presentation on how hard for us to face change. And I think the older I get, I realize that my whole life I tried to avoid change and have stability, just to realize that change is the only thing that doesn't change. We're always changing, and somehow this is a rich topic
Of
that
course,
helps with
yes.
our evolution. But my first comment is about the law of consequences, the actions and reactions. How I feel personally that this is a very important aspect of our spiritual journey. And you mentioned that love is one of the biggest pillars and assets, and I fully agree. But I also feel that we have to understand the law of consequence, because that's behind incarnation, reincarnation, everything. So what's your take on that?
I think the love it's beyond everything, and the love you cannot expect anything from anyone. The love piece is you were giving, and forget about receiving. Today we still doing giving and saying, "See, I did," but she didn't even say thank you. Or we're still in that. This is why it's still hard for us. The day I would love to experience this love that they say that it's beyond. Sometimes, as I said, I think my daughter is one, but when I do charity, like visiting the elderly or giving food, this type, I feel bad sometimes and say, why still like that? But I feel something inside of me that I believe it's a small seed of love, and say, we're giving him hope. We're giving them some kind. I think it is so, but is the love without asking, without. So think about Mother Teresa or people that they did, like not asking and not questioning, not saying why this, why that. Just do it. This is my opinion.
John, you wanted to say something?
That was, I think the word is unconditional love.
Yeah.
And we love unconditionally. And I think the practice closely to that. And that's Jesus's love, this unconditional love. Not even thinking, well, is there something in it for me? I have to feel good. If I don't feel good doing something, why should I do it?
That's true. Thank you, John.
So my question is, as we learn that we have the eternity to evolve, and that God is this amazing entity that forgives us to everything we do, right and wrong. So we don't need to care about that. We
No.
can just leave whatever we are doing,
Well,
and
Depends
we'll
on your
continue.
free will. If you want to choose that way, like go with the flow, it's your choice. But you can cut paths, I would say, like try to, go to advanced course before. So there are choices that we can make. There are people that, as the video, I don't want it. It's like, I don't think it's my time. Maybe it's okay. God is not doing any punishment. And our comfort doctrine is not saying, if you don't do this next life, you're going to suffer. This is not the way that it works.
They have the opportunities.
It's like, if you want to go with the flow, Angie, good luck. But your flow, it's going to be,
Exactly.
But
So if we don't step up in our progress, in our evolution, trying to improve, we'll be longer in this condition here right now. And this condition here right now, it's not the best. So I tell you guys, it's better you pick up your speed and start like thinking about your free will. Because yes, we all have free will. We do right or wrong. And then a lot of people send me, messages. Oh, but how do I know what is right and what is wrong? Well, before you do anything to somebody else, think, would I like this to happen to me? And you're like, oh no, but me no, because of this and that. So don't do it. If it's not good for you, don't do it to somebody else, because you will be somehow using badly your free will, and you're not gonna digress, like Julie always think. We stay stationary. That's what Emmanuel told Chico Xavier, that some spirits decide to be lazy. Of course, Emmanuel didn't say lazy, but he said
Joanna says
they
that.
take this long periods of time to make the right decision. So they stay stationary. And the stationary, the condition we are right now, it's not the best. So
No, yeah.
Let's-
One question that we always can ask to ourselves is, what would Jesus do? As she said, is this good for me? But you can ask, what is 10 seconds? I said, he wouldn't do that. He wouldn't respond like that. He wouldn't, So it's one thing. And the other thing that we never regret the school year, let's call like that. So if we're in the third grade here now, we can do third grade again and again. And it's our choice to do third grade. At some point, we want to go out from elementary, fifth grade, and do middle school, do high school, and this spiritual evolution.
awesome. Very, very good. My friends online, any questions here?
I have some.
Oh, do you have a question? A question or comment? Go ahead.
First of all, I know Katia Williams since Brazil a long time ago, and Katia and William, they know that I'm a little controversial sometimes. That
Oh, so
and then
this is
people-
old. This is old.
From next life,
Because I think that sometimes I think too much, and I'm not just someone that read the things and let's follow this. I have my question that I don't know if they are right or wrong, but is the way at least that I'm used. I needed to elaborate and think. Okay, whatever. And about the presentation, you said something about, I don't remember exactly the name of the topics. One was the strategy that reincarnation. Yes, I think strategy. I just would like to add, because you were talking something about the strategy. Correct me if I'm wrong. With the reincarnation, we have opportunity if someone or something happened that hurts us too much. When we reincarnate, we forget and we can start again.
Oh, this is an important thing. Like,
Yes.
we reincarnate to forget what we did, for the others to forget what we did, and to have a different and new experience.
Exactly.
Okay.
This is something that I would like to add, because I think it's
Sure,
not
thank you.
just to forget things previous life. It's because it's an opportunity also to have different experience and switch positions.
Oh, sure.
And another thing was the guide that you spoke about,
Mhm.
Jesus. In my point of view, of course, that some guides come just to accelerate the process, but I don't think that they are. In the end of the day, they are really necessary. They just help us, but they are not really necessary. The way that I see is that God created for me the perfect and unique law that is the cause and effect. Even if you don't have any kind of guidance, someone telling you doing this way because it will be better, the cause and effect will teach you everything that you need to learn.
But for example, even if, let's suppose we are talking about the planet. So there are parts of the planet that people heard of Jesus, but sometimes they don't, and sometimes they don't really know much. But even if you don't have Jesus as your model and guide, it has no problem, because you are guided by your
Conscious.
guardian angel, your conscious, that many times we say, oh, I just had an amazing idea. It is your conscious, and sometimes if it's a positive idea, it's your guardian angel guiding you. So even if you don't need a guide, you have a guide. And even if you think, I never heard, I never saw, I don't feel, your guardian angel is right there and will answer in your conscience. But as she said, sometimes, oh, I should take a left because Saz is here, but I just want to go to the right. It's fine. You are not listening to your guide. You're going against the correct way, or what the easier way. But one day you will arrive in the path. So yes, to the point that you are mentioning, you don't need to follow something, but you are never alone as you think. You're visually alone. You think you're doing everything by action and reaction. But in reality, you are not alone. You have
Yes,
someone with you.
but I think that even if your guide is someone that you just follow by example, or if someone whispers something for you, like a guardian angel, in the end of the day, I'm not talking about free will. I think that
At the end
even
of the
if
day,
we
you
don't
have
this
the
kind of
divine law.
guidance, I think that the cause and effect will push you in the right
Of
direction.
course, the divine justice is just perfect. It's not as the human justice that we have to follow for somehow. But remember, we have the divine law written in our consciences. So no matter, forget about Jesus, forget about a Buddha or whoever people has as a guard. We are still have in our conscience the right things to do. If I'm doing wrong,
You know,
you know, right? I don't have revision. I don't trust. I don't.
Yes,
You
but we don't,
still
you know.
have the law.
Exactly.
So if I'm doing wrong, it's okay. It's your choice at this moment. At some point, you're going to.
It's hard, but we need to understand.
Or we have by love, or we have, by the hardest way. Sometimes we all, at the moments that we are on this planet and the moments that we are in our progression, we're still learning by the hardest way.
I agree. And the last thing that I put in the end, because I know that
Polemical.
it's more polemical, is that maybe is my difficulty because we are ignorant as well. Is about when it's harder for me to understand, and I will not say accept, but when we discuss and we say that oh, this person did better choices using his free will, and for this reason is going a shorter path than others. This is something that for me is harder to understand, because the way that I see it is, if God created is fair and create us equal, because if it's fair, we be equal since the beginning.
We are simple and unaware,
Exactly.
right?
We are.
Okay.
This is the way that I think that we are.
Okay.
If someone using a free will going in one direction and the other goes in another direction, just because we choose different things, we are not equal. We are not
But
equal.
you have
You know that is a little
equal as a condition, right? Like everyone has the same path, right? But each one we have our own thing to learn.
We each
We-
one
like,
have.
we could be twins, and we are different souls. You are going to, we can experience the same thing. You might do one choice, I will do another choice.
Yes, this thinking in this current life,
Mhm.
I totally agree.
Okay.
We have a different experience, we have different bodies, we have different lives. And then when the same situation comes, because we have different backgrounds, we can do different decisions. But I think in the beginning, but when everything started, I know that I'm going beyond. Maybe we don't need even to think. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't matter. I just follow, just do the right thing.
Each one is unique.
Oh, yeah, this is a word. Thank you, Carla.
You are unique. She is unique in her path, and the choice you make the path unique.
But why, if again, if it's God fair, why we did have different paths and some are harder than others? In the beginning,
Are you sure? Are you sure we're supposed to?
What you did back then, you don't
no, not like that. In the beginning, the race, we will start.
It's not a race.
Everybody.
That's the wrong way. It's not a race. You're worried about.
Yes, you worry about who is going to be happy first. There is no race.
No, I'm not talking about race, because maybe I used the wrong expression.
Okay.
When we are in the starting point and we will start to walk, God, if I'm not telling that it is not fair, because I think that maybe exists more things that we don't understand yet. Yeah,
No
but
doubt
the
about
way, yes, the way that we understand now, this don't make sense, doesn't make sense for me that if we are totally equal, equal.
Julie, can I try to answer your question?
But you understood that
I-
last my,
If everybody were, because there's the difference between being equal and being the same. We started in an equal base, but we're not the same. And that's the richness of diversity. If everybody had the same path, we wouldn't have the diversity of experience that we can learn. Because I can learn not only from my own experience, I can learn from the people that surround me. And the diversity, the richness of the situations allow me to learn. If everybody were the same, we only would have one type of experience all the time.
I totally agree. Because you know that the theory of Big Bang, and we have a theory of Big Bang that with one spot, we had the big expansion, was not an explosion, that is big expansion. And one question that the physicists, they do, if we are coming from the same point and having this expansion, why the universe is not symmetric, perfectly symmetric, the same star here and here in all directions. And an explanation that they do is that we have some quantum disturbance in this expansion that make in the different direction going in different stars. It's not the same structure in all direction from the center. But thinking about the beginning, we as spiritual, to be fair, we should have the same experience, because even that I understand that the diversity for some,
But why this is about fairness? You know, based on what
but
judgment?
God is not fair.
No, but based on what lenses of judgment?
But why should that be fair? I don't understand.
Because we always say that
We have
You are comparing one